Welcome back to the channel, Sparkles. Today, we're going to explore the top 4 most valuable coins in U.S. history, focusing on the 1-cent wheat penny, copper, and the Monticello Jefferson nickel, silver. These classic coins hold a special place in the hearts of collectors and have proven to be some of the most sought-after treasures in the market. We'll be looking at rare error coins, unique conditions, and even those with different color shades or unusual gold-like tones. These details can transform what looks like a simple coin into something worth thousands of dollars. These rare pennies and nickels are more than just pieces of pocket change. They are true pieces of history and have become major players in the coin collecting and investor world. So, if you're a coin enthusiast or someone who appreciates the beauty and significance of American currency, this video is for you. Backhand index pointing right, let's get started with the first coin on our list. The 1943 P. Jefferson nickel stands as one of the most fascinating and powerful treasures in American coinage, not only because of its age, but also because of the extraordinary material it was struck in. Unlike most nickels made of copper and nickel alloy, the 1943 P was part of a special series struck during World War II with a composition of silver, manganese, and copper. This was no ordinary choice. The government needed nickel for the war effort, so they substituted silver, making these nickels unique. This change gave rise to one of the most extraordinary coins in U.S. history, one that today can hold unimaginable value in the right form, with the right errors, or in the right condition. When you hold a 1943 P silver Jefferson nickel, you're holding not just a coin, but a piece of wartime history. Each coin minted with the P, above Monticello on the reverse, carries a sense of urgency, necessity, and ingenuity. These coins were not struck to become treasures, but to fill the needs of a nation in conflict. Yet over the decades, they have transformed into symbols of rarity and resilience, commanding attention in auctions and igniting dreams of instant fortune. The blend of silver itself means that these coins have intrinsic precious metal value, but their true power lies far beyond that. Collectors around the world chase after the 1943 P. Jefferson nickel, not simply for its composition, but for its stories. Imagine finding one in mint state condition. Preserved as though it were frozen in time, its surface is untouched by circulation. Such a coin can sell for extraordinary amounts, with values climbing to levels that can genuinely transform someone's life. Add in a rare striking error, a double die, an off-center strike, or a planchet flaw, and the price tag jumps to a level that defies imagination. That is why people say this coin has the power to change fortunes overnight. The gleam of silver on a 1943 P nickel sets it apart immediately. Place it beside any modern coin, and you'll see how its luster glows differently, how its presence commands attention. The silver wartime nickels were never meant to stand out, yet their distinctiveness has made them unforgettable. They are whispers of the past with the power to roar in the present, demanding respect from anyone lucky enough to stumble across them. The placement of the large P mint mark above Monticello makes this coin iconic. For the first time in U.S. history, the Philadelphia Mint used a mint mark, and that detail alone makes the 1943 P. Jefferson nickel a landmark. Every collector knows that these wartime nickels are essential to completing a set, but it is the finest or rarest variations that bring staggering value. It is within these variations that life-changing fortunes are hidden, waiting for the sharp-eyed dreamer to discover. Picture an auction hall, where the bidding paddle rises and the crowd grows tense. A pristine 1943 P. Jefferson nickel with dazzling luster, perhaps with an extraordinary error, is on display. The bidding climbs, tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands, and soon it reaches the realm of millions. The hammer drops, and a 1-5-cent piece has rewritten someone's destiny. That is the dramatic reality this coin can create. But it's not just about money. This coin is a time capsule. It carries the echoes of World War II, when resources were rationed and sacrifices were made across the globe. It tells a story of adaptation and survival, of a nation finding ways to press forward in dark times. Owning such a coin is not simply owning a collectible. It is holding a fragment of the spirit of a generation that refused to give in. That history only amplifies its allure and value. For many, the 1943 P nickel becomes a symbol of possibility. It represents the idea that something small, overlooked, or forgotten can hold within it the key to unimaginable wealth. A simple silver coin tossed in a drawer decades ago may today hold the power to turn an ordinary individual into a millionaire. It reminds us that treasure often hides in the plainest of places, waiting for someone with curiosity and courage to look closer. The aura of silver in this nickel also gives it a mystical appeal. Unlike the ordinary gray-tone nickels most people know, the silver wartime coin glows with a brilliance that seems to radiate wealth itself. It doesn't just sit quietly in a collection. It demands to be noticed, admired, and remembered. Its shine whispers of fortunes untold, hinting that within this modest design lies the promise of greatness. If you are fortunate enough to possess a 1943 P. Jefferson silver nickel, treat it as a guardian of opportunity. Do not dismiss it as mere change, and do not part with it hastily. Its value may rest not only in its metal, but in the rare possibility that your coin is one of the unique anomalies worth millions. To sell it cheaply would be to throw away the golden ticket to your dreams. The most powerful lesson this coin teaches is that fortune often hides in unexpected forms. A coin worth 5 cents at its birth can, decades later, hold the ability to build empires, to change families, to create legends. It shows us that nothing should ever be underestimated, not even a small piece of silver struck during the heat of war. In the end, the 1943 P. Jefferson silver nickel is more than just one of the most valuable and expensive coins in U.S. history. It is a testament to the idea that history, rarity, and destiny can combine to create something truly magical. In its shine is a possibility of transformation, the power to turn a dreamer into a billionaire, and the promise that even the smallest treasures can hold the greatest fortunes. Next up, the 1944 P. Jefferson nickel is a coin that gleams with both history and mystery, a treasure struck during one of the most turbulent times in American history. Unlike ordinary nickels, this one carries a secret in its very composition. It was minted not with the usual copper and nickel alloy, but with a special wartime formula that included 35% silver. That one detail alone sets it apart as more than just a 5-cent piece. It transforms it into a relic of resilience, necessity, and enduring value. And for those lucky enough to hold the right variation of this coin, its worth today could rise into unimaginable heights, even into the millions, with the power to change an ordinary life overnight. The decision to strike this coin in silver was born from urgency. During World War II, nickel was deemed essential for production of weapons and armor. To save that critical resource, the U.S. Mint replaced it with silver, creating the legendary wartime nickels. The 1944 P, with its bold P mint mark above Monticello on the reverse, is more than just money. It is a time capsule from the war years, a coin forged not only in metal but also in sacrifice. Every time you look at one, you're peering into a moment when even small changes like a coin's composition were part of the greater fight for freedom. What makes the 1944 P. Jefferson nickel truly electrifying is not only its silver content, but its scarcity in pristine condition. Coins that circulated lost much of their shine, but those preserved carefully remain dazzling examples of silver's natural brilliance. A gem-quality 1944 P, untouched and radiant, is enough to spark bidding wars in auction halls. Some have commanded staggering prices that defy belief, transforming an ordinary piece of pocket change into a golden, or in this case silvery, ticket to wealth. Adding to the thrill are rare errors and variations that only magnify the value of this coin. Imagine a double die error, where the design elements appear shadowed or duplicated, or a striking misalignment that leaves part of Monticello off the coin. These minting accidents, once overlooked, now command sums that can make their owners instant millionaires. The tiniest flaw from 1944 may today be worth more than entire collections of modern coins, proving that fortune truly does hide in the details. The large P mint mark above Monticello was a groundbreaking feature. Before the wartime nickels, Philadelphia coins bore no mint mark at all. With the 1944 P, the P stood tall and proud, symbolizing a moment in U.S. coinage history where change was necessary and symbolic. That single letter turned these coins into instant classics and gave collectors a clue that they were handling something exceptional. Owning one today is not just owning a coin. It is holding a piece of innovation in numismatic history. Picture the scene of an auction house, packed with collectors, investors, and dreamers. A flawless 1944. P. Jefferson nickel sits under the spotlight, its surface is glowing, its silver reflecting beams of light. The bidding starts modestly, but as paddles rise and numbers climb, tension builds. 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, and still the bids climb. By the time the hammer falls, the once humble nickel has crossed into the realm of life-changing wealth. That is the power that a coin like this holds. It doesn't just exist, it astonishes. But the value of the 1944 P nickel isn't measured only in dollars. Its worth lies also in the story it carries. It speaks of an America that adapted, sacrificed, and pressed forward in the face of global conflict. It embodies resilience and innovation, standing as a reminder that even something as small as a coin can tell the story of a nation at war. For many collectors, that history is priceless, and it makes the coin far more than a financial asset. It becomes a treasured piece of heritage. For those lucky enough to stumble upon a 1944 P nickel in their pocket change or tucked away in a family collection, the possibilities are staggering. That little coin, easily dismissed as ordinary, could conceal a fortune. It could be the spark that transforms financial dreams into reality. That is why experts urge people never to underestimate the coins they hold. Among the common lies the extraordinary, and the 1944 P is proof of that truth. The silver composition also adds to its mystique. Unlike typical nickels, which dull over time, the wartime coins possess a glow that seems almost ethereal. Silver carries with it a sense of permanence, beauty, and value. When struck in the design of Jefferson and Monticello, it becomes more than just metal. It becomes art, history, and wealth all combined into a palm-sized treasure. If you are lucky enough to own one of these coins, the advice is clear. Do not part with it lightly. Too often, people sell rare coins for small sums, unaware of their hidden potential. A coin like the 1944 P. Jefferson nickel could be the very piece that elevates you to fortune, the one artifact that transforms your financial destiny forever. To spend it or sell it cheaply would be to cast aside a miracle disguised as a nickel. The 1944 P. Jefferson nickel proves that greatness often hides in plain sight. A small piece of silver struck in wartime can, decades later, hold the key to unimaginable wealth. It reminds us never to underestimate the ordinary, for within it lies the extraordinary. This nickel is not just a collector's item. It is a symbol of possibility, a beacon of hope, and a tangible link between history and fortune. In the end, the 1944 P. Silver Jefferson nickel is more than just a coin. It is a vessel of transformation, a shining testament to resilience and ingenuity, and for the fortunate collector, a gateway to life-changing wealth. Within its silver gleam lies the promise of a new beginning, a fortune waiting to be claimed, and the undeniable proof that sometimes the smallest treasures hold the greatest power. Next up, the 1942 no-mint Mark wheat penny is one of those coins that seems simple on the surface, yet it hides a world of intrigue, mystery, and unimaginable value beneath its copper shell. Minted in Philadelphia during a time when the world was at war, this penny is far more than just a 1-cent coin. It represents a slice of American history, an artifact of resilience, and a potential ticket to overnight fortune for those fortunate enough to hold the right piece. While millions were struck, rare variations and pristine survivors are today considered so valuable that their prices can climb into levels that change lives in an instant. At first glance, the 1942 wheat penny looks like any other from the Lincoln Wheatback series. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln stares proudly from the obverse, while the iconic wheat ears frame the reverse. Yet, beneath this ordinary design lies the extraordinary. The absence of a mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia, the nation's oldest mint, and these coins have become the foundation of legendary stories in coin collecting. For many, the 1942 no-mint Mark wheat penny is more than currency. It's a piece of American culture that carries the echoes of an era defined by both hardship and determination. What makes this coin so powerful in today's marketplace is not just its history, but its hidden potential. Among the many 1942 wheat pennies, certain examples, particularly those with rare minting errors, perfect luster, or sharp strikes, have achieved astronomical values at auction. These aren't just pennies. They are million-dollar artifacts disguised in copper, waiting for the right collector to recognize their worth. For someone holding one of these rarities, it could mean the difference between an ordinary life and a life of unimaginable luxury. The copper composition of the 1942 penny only adds to its allure. During these years, copper was a critical resource of the war effort, and by 1943, the U.S. Mint would famously switch to zinc-coated steel cents to conserve copper. That makes the 1942 issues the last of the wartime copper cents before the change, giving them a symbolic weight that collectors find irresistible. To hold a 1942 penny is to hold the final breath of a copper era, right before America made one of its most dramatic coinage shifts. Imagine stumbling upon a flawless 1942 wheat penny tucked inside a family collection, its surfaces gleaming as though it were struck yesterday. The value of such a coin would be staggering, the kind of discovery that sends shockwaves through the coin community. Auction houses have seen bids climb higher and higher for these treasures, often surpassing six figures, and in extraordinary cases, sparking speculation that certain varieties could reach into the millions. It's no exaggeration to say that one coin has the power to change your financial destiny forever. Error coins from 1942 only heighten this excitement. There are stories of double dies where Lincoln's features appear doubled, or off-center strikes that render the coin beautifully unique. These mistakes, considered imperfections at the time, are now the very features that collectors chase with ferocity. A single error coin can sell for the price of a luxury home or exotic car, transforming an ordinary pocket find into a life-altering jackpot. The absence of a mint mark on the 1942 penny also carries symbolic meaning. Unlike its Denver or San Francisco cousins, the Philadelphia coin carries no additional letter beneath the date, giving a clean, pure appearance that collectors admire. This small difference, combined with its wartime context, has made the no-mint mark penny one of the most desired in the Lincoln Wheat series. Its simplicity speaks volumes, a quiet rarity that commands enormous respect in the marketplace. For collectors, the 1942 wheat penny isn't just about wealth. It's about holding a story in the palm of your hand. It's about touching the past, about connecting with an America that was rationing supplies, sending soldiers overseas, and reshaping its very identity. Every scratch and shine tells a story of the hands that carried it, the times it survived, and the resilience it represents. This emotional value adds a priceless dimension to its already staggering financial potential. Picture the moment when an owner decides to part with one of these coins. The coin is placed under the lights of an auction hall, its copper glow mesmerizing the crowd. Collectors bid with intensity, each one desperate to claim this rare piece of history. As the numbers rise, gasps fill the room, and before long the hammer drops on a price that defies comprehension. What began as a single cent has just become the key to generational wealth. The 1942 wheat penny is proof that even the smallest objects can carry the greatest treasures. It reminds us never to overlook the coins in our drawers, jars, or collections, for within them may lie the one piece that changes everything. It's a coin that teaches us that fortune often hides in plain sight, disguised in copper, waiting patiently for the right eyes to see it. If you own one of these pennies, the advice is clear: do not let it go lightly. To sell it cheaply would be to give away a treasure chest for the price of a trinket. This coin has the power to transform not just finances but entire futures, and its value continues to rise as its story becomes more legendary with each passing year. In the end, the 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than a coin. It is a dream forged in copper, a bridge between the past and the future, and a symbol of how history can translate into unimaginable wealth. For those who are lucky enough to hold one of the rarest and finest examples, it is not just a collectible. It is a miracle in the palm of your hand, capable of rewriting your fortune overnight. Next up, the 1957 D. Lincoln wheat penny is one of those coins that sits at the crossroads of American history, culture, and fortune. Struck at the Denver Mint during the final years of the iconic wheat cent series, this coin represents the end of an era. Millions of them were minted. Yet in the world of coin collecting, not all coins are created equal. Some examples of the 1957 D. wheat penny, because of their pristine condition, rare errors, or unusual characteristics, have risen to legendary status. These are the coins that can fetch staggering sums in the marketplace, with some believed by collectors to be worth millions, turning an ordinary copper cent into a life-changing treasure. What makes this penny so remarkable is its place in the story of American money. The Lincoln wheat penny had been in production since 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. By the time the 1957 D issue was struck, Americans had lived with Lincoln's profile and the iconic wheat ears for nearly half a century. For many families, it was a coin most commonly seen in pocket change, used for everything from buying candy to saving for war bonds during earlier decades. This long history gives the 1957 D a deep sentimental value beyond its face. The D mint mark beneath the date signifies that this coin was struck in Denver, a mint known for producing some of the highest mintage numbers in U.S. history. And yet, hidden among the vast quantities of 1957 D wheat pennies are certain rare examples that collectors dream of finding. These might include error coins with double dies, repunch mint marks, or striking anomalies that make each piece one of a kind. In the world of numismatics, such errors are golden tickets, pushing their value into unimaginable heights. Copper itself gives this coin additional significance. The 1957 D wheat penny was made of 95% copper, a composition that would soon change when the Lincoln Memorial Cent debuted in 1959 and later when the U.S. transitioned to copper-plated zinc coins in 1982. That makes coins like the 1957 D not just artifact of design history, but also physical relics of a time when American coins carried real weight and substance in their metal. Collectors often point out that copper coins from this period carry a warm glow, a luster that modern pennies can never replicate. Imagine holding in your hand a flawless, uncirculated 1957 D wheat penny, one whose surface shines as if it had just left the mint presses yesterday. Such coins, graded by professional services at the highest levels, can command staggering prices. In recent years, collectors have competed ferociously for these top-condition examples, sending their values soaring into the thousands. And when unique varieties are discovered, the prices have been known to leap into the millions. For the lucky owner, such a find can transform a simple cent into a ticket to untold fortune. But the allure of the 1957 D penny isn't just about money. It's also about history. This coin was minted during the height of the post-World War II boom, a time when America was experiencing unprecedented prosperity. Families were buying homes, cars, and televisions, and children often saved wheat pennies in little cardboard folders. Each 1957 D penny carries with it the echoes of that era, the laughter of a child counting pennies, the feel of a grocery store cash register, the jingling coins in a serviceman's pocket. Collectors treasure this human connection just as much as the coin's rarity. Another fascinating element is the role of wheat pennies as a bridge between generations. Grandparents and parents often pass down jars of these coins to younger family members, not realizing that one of those pennies might be extraordinary. Stories abound of heirs discovering 1957 D varieties worth fortunes hidden in ordinary collections. It's this element of surprise, the possibility of stumbling upon a miracle in a handful of change, that gives the coin a legendary reputation. The 1957 D also represents the closing chapter of the wheat design, which was retired just 2 years later. Collectors view these late-date wheat cents as the grand finale of a beloved series, giving them an emotional weight. The wheat ears on the reverse, symbolizing growth and prosperity, perfectly capture the spirit of the mid-20th century America. When paired with Lincoln's noble profile, the design creates a timeless tribute to the nation's values of freedom, resilience, and opportunity. Error coins from this date are particularly mesmerizing. Some 1957 D pennies display striking doubling on the date or letters, while others show die cracks, off-center strikes, or other minting quirks. These coins are unique works of art created by accident, and collectors will pay unimaginable sums to own them. Owning one isn't just about value. It's about possessing something that truly cannot be duplicated. Picture the drama of one of these coins entering a major auction. Under the spotlight, the coin glows with history and rarity, and the bids escalate quickly. What started as a humble copper cent suddenly becomes the center of a bidding war, the hammer dropping on a price that can rival luxury mansions or private jets. For the owner, that moment represents not just financial gain, but also the thrill of revealing a hidden treasure to the world. For those who hold a 1957 D-Wheat penny today, the lesson is simple. Don't underestimate it. A coin that might appear ordinary could be the key to unimaginable wealth. To sell it hastily, without understanding its true worth, could mean letting go of a fortune disguised as copper. It is always wise to have such coins professionally evaluated, because sometimes the most life-changing treasures come in the smallest, most unassuming packages. In the end, the 1957 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny is a coin that embodies history, beauty, and the promise of fortune. It's a reminder that the objects we pass over every day can hold astonishing secrets. For the right collector, it is more than a penny. It is a dream made tangible, a bridge between generations, and a potential key to overnight wealth. To own one of its rarest forms is to hold a piece of history so powerful it could change your destiny forever.